Yoga Morning. My name is Mark Cormier. I'm practicing with Kathy Cormier today. Well, great to have you all here. I can't really see you, but otherwise it'd be great to see you. So yeah, anything you'd like to see, put it in the comments. If we don't get to it today, we'll get to it some other time. We tend to do this most weeks, unless we're traveling or otherwise indisposed. Anyway, let me bring Kathy on up. Hello, Kathy.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to work on in particular?
Staying calm.
Staying calm. Well, this yoga practice may not induce that effect. Having said that, the side effects are probably going to be pretty good.
That's good.
But yeah, I think the best, for me, when I start to get anxious, if I breathe a longer exhalation breath, it tends to work. I think physiologically, you're starting to, I think it works paradoxically. You're getting more carbon dioxide into your blood, and for whatever reason, that tells your body it's time to relax. Whereas if you bring more oxygen in, by lengthening the inhalation, that tends to excite you. If you were anxious, make the anxiety a little higher. So anyway, let's bring one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And let's just find our three-part breath here. Doesn't matter which hand. Big breath into that bottom hand. Big breath into the place between the two hands. Breath into that heart hand. And just let it all go out. Let it come out through the mouth. Breath into the belly hand. Between the two hands. Into the heart hand. On the exhale, just let it whoosh out. Let's do one more like that. Breath into the belly hand. Between the two hands. Into that heart hand. And then just let it whoosh out. Now bringing that belly hand on top of the heart hand, I'll invite you to set an intention for this practice. Could be all kinds of things, something you're thinking about, something you're moving towards. It could be as simple as you're perfect, just as you are. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, hands by your side. Just bring hands on hips. Let's ground down through one set of toes and just circling the ankle, the knee, and the hip. And then taking those circles the other way. Now grounded down through that foot, other set of toes. We'll circle the ankle, the knee, and the hip. And then taking it the other way. Now ground it down through 2 feet. We'll bring the knees right together. We'll come down and cap the knees with the hands and circling our knees. Could be a big circle, could be a little circle. Let it be your circle. Whatever your knees want this morning. And then taking those circles the other way. Now coming on up, feet hip width apart, don't think too much about it. Take that, look down at your feet. Many of us have a slight turn out to the toes. It's totally cool, at least for this exercise. Hands find the back of the hips. We're just circling our hips. Again, it could be a big circle, little circle, but it be your circle. Whatever your hips want this morning. And then taking those circles the other way. Now back to center. Let's bring a thumb onto each shoulder, elbows wide to the side, and circling those shoulders. And then taking those shoulder circles the other way. Now back to center, releasing and relaxing the shoulders, 2 arms in the air like you either do or don't care. Thumb and forefinger of one hand catch the wrist of the other. We can traction that far shoulder as we take a little side bend. And then turning the side bend into a circle. Once you've established that circle, so I'm going to circle the hips the other way. Now circling the shoulders the other way, hips the other way. Now coming back to center, thumb and forefinger, the other hand, catch that other wrist. We can traction that far shoulder as we take a little bit of a side bend. And then starting to circle the shoulders one way as the hips circle the other. And then taking those circles the other way. And then back to center. Hands by your side. Releasing and relaxing the shoulders. When you inhale, the shoulders up towards the ears. On the exhale, just let them drop. Let the exhale come out through the mouth. And it looks like this. A few more times. And a couple more. Now keeping those shoulders heavy, I'll invite you to look up and look down as we stretch out our neck. And just back and forth between the two places. I'll invite you to think of a ball in front of your neck and a ball behind. And we're rounding up and over each ball. Next time you look up, holding that, taking it further as we stretch out the base of our throat. Up and over that ball in front and holding that as we stretch out the back of our neck. Lifting the chin tall through the crown. Keeping the shoulders just as they are. Ear to one shoulder. Ear to other shoulder. And back and forth between the two sides. Envisioning a ball on each side of the neck. You're rounding up and over each ball. Next time you're on one side or the other, holding that tilt, taking it just a little bit further, keeping that far shoulder heavy as we stretch out that side of the neck. Back through center, second side, and holding, taking it just a little bit further as we stretch out that side of the neck. And back to center. Thumbs come back to the shoulders, elbows wide to the side, keeping the shoulders just as they are as we jut the chin out and then draw the chin back. As we work this exercise, notice the energetic origin of the neck. The energy neck is a lot longer than the neck looks in the mirror. Next time you've jutted that chin front, taking it a little bit further. And then drawing the chin back. And taking it just a little bit further. And then back to center. I'll ask you to play with me here. Index fingers touch the ears. Thumbs touch the shoulders. Hands touch the hips. Fingers stretch down towards the heels. Taking it in segments. Ears over shoulders. Ears and shoulders over hips. Ears, shoulders, hips over heels as we stand tall. Let's take it sideways. We'll do a quick sun salad here. Feel free to maybe arrange those bricks so that you get them on the way down. Or you can hold them in your hands, up to you. We'll work arms and shoulders here. Inhaling arms up and over the head. Exhaling hands back down. 2 more times like this, observing the natural rhythm of the shoulders as the arms elevate, the shoulders elevate. As the arms descend, the shoulders descend. 1 more time here, breathing in. And breathing out. Taking it into a forward fold. Feel free to use the bricks. Inhaling up. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail as we arc the back. Strong tuck of the tail, strong tuck of the chin as we stretch out the back, folding again. Inhaling arms out to the side and then overhead, finding your neutral spine. Back of the head in line with the sacrum. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this, half sun salutation. Inhaling up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail as we arc the back. And then arching the spine as we fold it in. Inhaling arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 1 more time. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. Exhaling, tucking tail and chin as we stretch out our back. Inhaling arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll cue you back to down dog along with the down dog. Hello, Savannah. Inhaling up. Exhaling a big swan dive over. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. On the exhale, rounding the spine as you ground down through the hands and finding your down dog. Stepping one foot back and then the other. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to hold it in stillness, seeing what comes up, inviting your mind to still. Despite the lack of overt movement, you're breathing, your heart's still beating, your mind's moving from thought to thought. And by focusing on your breath as it flows in and out, finding a little more space between each breath, each beat of the heart, each thought. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. As goes the breath, so goes the mind. Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher, finding just a little more space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your mat. Let an inhale bring length when you arrive, lifting chin and tail, really dip back hard, feel that stretch. On the exhale, really puffing back hard as you round it in, feel that stretch. On the inhale, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side, and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall, hands by your side. I'll cue you back to plank pose. Inhaling, arms out to the side, and then overhead. On the exhale, finding a forward fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail as we arc the back, arching the spine as you ground down through the hands, stepping one foot back and then the other, finding your plank pose. As we hold the plank pose, feeling that connection between head, hips, and heels. Shoulders super, super, super engaged. Connecting with a line of strength running from the center of yourself all the way through the hips to the back of the heels. A line of strength that supports your intention. Despite the effort of the action, an easeful quality to the breath. One of the elements that makes it yoga. Tail end of your next breath, navel to spine as you lift the hips high. Coming back to down dog. This time, I'll invite you to walk that dog as you bend one leg deeply and then the other. Moving back and forth between the two sides. It feels right and good for those shoulders, a little swing of the shoulders. It feels good for the neck, a little swing of the neck. However, and whatever you choose to do, finding that mind-body connection that's always there. What do you feel? And where do you feel it? From that place of movement back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep, full breath. Tail end of her breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or maybe jump it to the front of your mat. Let an inhale bring length when you arrive, lifting chin and tail. Exhaling, folding again. On the inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands over head pose, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. Let's do one more sun sal. We'll throw in vinyasa, which means a push-up into a back bend and then back to down dog. I'll let you choose the push-up. I'll let you choose the back bend. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Inhaling, finding length as you lift chin and tail. Really stretch that back out. On the exhale, really rounding it in. Feel that stretch, strong tuck of the chin. And then ground it down through the hands as you cycle through your push-up. Inhaling into your back bend, be it cobra or up dog. And then back to down dog. As we hold down dog, either holding it in stillness, inviting your mind to still, or adding some movement as you stir it up, inviting in more prana, inviting in more flow. And again, however you choose to work, finding that mind-body connection that's always there. What do you feel? And where do you feel it? Long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. As goes the breath, so goes the mind. Tail end of that next longer, slower exhalation, looking between the hands. And, actually, I didn't cue a longer exhalation, but if you're working it, great. Tail end of that exhalation, looking between the hands and either stepping or maybe jumping at front. Let an inhale bring length when you arrive. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll ask you to face camera, Kathy. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Long, smooth breath in. Longer, slower breath out. Long, smooth breath in. Longer, slower breath out. One more like that. Long, smooth breath in. Longer, slower breath out. Belly hand becomes the other heart hand. Ending our practice today, just watching as our breath flows in and out. And coming back to your intention. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Savannah, for the cameo. And thank you all for practicing with us. And again, if you'd like to see anything, put it in the comments, and we'll get to it sometime soon. Namaste.
Namaste.
Have a nice day.